Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is, what is today? Today is Thursday, April 6th. Is today 6th? Yes, it is. I'm looking at a calendar. Okay, so I'm going to turn the light pad off first. This is going to be a WIP and chat. I'm going to turn it off first so you can see truly how it is looking. It's looking good. I finished this section yesterday and then did a bunch in this section. I did all of the black and some of the gray. So that's where we're going to start today. And I decided to do a WIP and chat because yesterday was not an easy day for me. And I wanted to talk about it because I feel like a lot of us struggle on a daily basis and go through the same things, and it's really easy, I think, for us to feel like we're alone, and we're really not. So I am using the gummy bear putty today. It smells just so delicious. Like you want to eat it. It smells like candy. And I'm using my trusty, you're going to see me use this pen. I actually really, really like this pen. And so I might put some other colors on my wish list. Amazon is doing away with their Amazon Assistant though, which let you put stuff on your wish list from other sites. And so I would actually just have to say, okay, I want an Etsy gift card. But that is an excellent gift for me if anybody is so inclined, right? And this pen, I think, with shipping, it was $15, which seems kind of, but in the grand scheme, I mean, it's very sturdy. It has these little grippy things here. I like the rest for your finger. It's very comfortable to hold this. And I know it's blurry. There we go. It's very comfortable to hold it, and it's very close to, like, watch, I'll get a, let's see. Let me do 4. We're going to do symbols 4 and 5 first. I always do my ABs last because then I don't have as much putty in the pen. But another trick to not have the AB diamonds pull out your wax. When you lay down a diamond, I'm going to pretend this is an AB diamond. When you pick it up, what symbol is this? This is 4. When you pick it up and you put it down, instead of putting it straight down like that, do this. Put it down and like twist your pen, like twist it to the side. It won't pull the wax out of your pen. Just saying. Okay, so let's talk about yesterday. So yesterday I was off, and you know, I always have these plans of just diamond painting all day, blah, 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 but it never works out like that. First off, I stayed up pretty late the night before stitching, which in the next, I will show you my stitching progress. I have a little bit more done. Oh, and before I forget too, I received a wonderful gift from Stacy Shorey. She bought me one of my Bath & Body Works candles I had on my Amazon wish list, the Watermelon Lemonade. Thank you so much. Those candles are so wonderful. And I even added some Goose Creek candles on there because I really want to try them. So I always keep my Amazon wish list pretty stocked with stuff because it gives bill ideas for gifts. And you guys sometimes like to get me stuff, and I'm so very grateful. So yesterday, I was very overwhelmed with house chores, and I did have a couple little work things to tend to, but not much. It was more house stuff. And you know, I have many days where I am just tired of the things that I do every single day around here and the things that I do for Bill. As in, his colonoscopy paperwork, I filled all of that out. Read all of it over. All of that. His part-time job. I was the one that filled out all of the employee forms on the internet. And so yesterday, Bill had his colonoscopy this morning, and I'll talk about that in a second. But yesterday, so I'm doing, dishwasher, laundry, just a whole bunch of stuff yesterday. And the day just got away from me. And before I knew it, it was 2 o'clock. And I'm going to be honest, not only was I just tired, I was just so irritated that I thought, I can't do a video because I'm just going to come off like irritated. And also, in full disclosure, there are many times where I sit down to do that gratitude list and I have pen and paper and nothing comes to my head. Some days it is a true struggle to do that list. And it shouldn't be. I don't think it should be. I should have 100 things on that list every single day. But when I read the list to you guys, I don't want to have just the same things on it every day. Like, I want stuff to be, I guess, organically different on it. Like, it's obvious that every single day I am grateful for, heat, all the things that I have, the fact that I'm alive, those kinds of things. I just don't want to, just to have something on the list, write those kinds of things. I want it to be completely genuine. So today, 2 things on the list. 1, I'm off work today. Very thankful for that because it was a long day yesterday. And today was a long day up until now. Right now it is 1:22 when I'm filming this. And I am also thankful that Bill's colonoscopy went very well. He's fine and we're home and he's good. So those are the 2 things on my gratitude list today. I think I was putting extreme pressure on myself to have 5 or more things, and it doesn't, that's insane. Like, why am I putting that pressure on myself? So I was just so done yesterday. So Bill gets home, and you're not going to believe this because his truck is only 2 weeks old. Something's already wrong with it. And I got to pick the next card. Let's do 5. Something's already wrong with it. So first off, he thinks it might be his phone, because when he hooks his phone to the Bluetooth in the truck, he has been having trouble playing the radio and also making phone calls. But when he doesn't hook his phone to it, the radio worked fine. And then there's something wrong with the transmission of the truck. It rattles when you drive it. And so he said, yeah, I called them and they said, bring it in tomorrow, which is today. He said, they're going to have it for 3 weeks. I said, what? Well, there's 24 cars ahead of me with the same problem. And I'm like, well, something is happening then. I would say in their manufacturing line. So, yeah. So not happy about that. We haven't even made 1 truck payment yet. He's had the truck for 2 weeks. There's already something wrong with it. And then he got paid for the first time yesterday from his part-time job. And so I go into the portal and I look and I see no federal tax taken out. And I'm just like, really right now? And see, long time ago, you used to be able to, in Maryland, you used to be able to say 00. Like, I want the max taken out that they would take out, right? Well, now when you fill out your W-9, and women, I'm either getting a hot flash or sweating. I have to take off. I put a sweater on because It's like 90 degrees here today, and we actually have our air conditioning on, but I was cold when I came in here, but not now. Okay. Well, it's different. Like you do like this online calculator, and it asks you all these questions, and it says like 0 tax taken out. And I was just so clueless. So I sent an email to the person in charge of that, and she said, okay, I'm going to go in there and look at it. Well, she went in and looked at it, and she changed something, but she's like, it's only going to take out $65. Well, it should be taking out like $250, because I told Bill, I said, if we don't get this fixed, we're going to be screwed come tax time next year. We're going to owe more taxes than what we think we're going to owe. So I figured out that it should be about 15% coming out. And so I emailed her again, and I said, can you please go in and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I hand the phone to Bill, and he's like, well, did you tell her thank you? I said, no. He goes, you didn't thank her? And I felt like saying, why don't you do it then? I'm here, sitting here doing all of this, typing all of this. Why don't you do it? That's the attitude that I felt in that moment. But I grab the phone, I type a thank you, and then you remember he couldn't eat yesterday because of preparation for the colonoscopy. And so I had a little bit of dinner, but I felt awful eating in front of him. And he said he wasn't bothered by it. And so I was actually tired. Like, I fell asleep for a little bit last night downstairs. For, I would say, about 20 minutes or so. And then I knew I had to get up early today. I had to get up at 5:30 because we're having dinner in the crock pot. So I had to get that prepared and get myself ready, because we had to be at the endo center place by 7:30 for his appointment at 8 o'clock. So we stayed up until like 9:30 last night, and he's like, are you going to go stitch? And I said, you know what? Actually, I'm not. I said, I'm just going to go into bed. But I didn't wind up falling asleep till 12:30. 12:30, woke up at 5:30. But last night, so I have struggled, even in the midst of reading the Bible, I struggle so much with having a good attitude towards the things that I do on a daily basis. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, there's like putty or something on this. I thought to myself, how do these people in the Bible who face tremendous circumstances, strife, all kinds of stuff, right? And have a good attitude. I mean, Paul was in prison when he wrote Philippians, I think. One of those books. He was in jail. Daniel, in the lion's den. I mean, Jesus himself. Stress and strife consistently and constantly, right? And so instead of going to my Bible, I actually put in Google, how did people in the Bible deal with strife and have a good attitude? Here's what came up. So this is pretty long, and I'm just going to read like the good points of it. So yeah, writing from a prison cell in Rome, the Apostle Paul wrote about the attitude a Christian should have. Whatever happens, conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. Meaning, whatever happens here. Well, he was writing Philippians, so it was Philippians. No matter what unexpected disruptions, frustrations, or difficulties come our way, we are to respond with a Christ-like attitude. We should be standing firm and striving for the faith. Meaning, pray for everything. Worry about nothing. Well, that is surely easier said than done. And I feel like I haven't been praying enough. Like, I literally feel like I should be praying about every single thing. Everything. And Paul in here is talking about demonstrating humility and selflessness in relationships. And so, of course, Jesus was perfect. He's the only person in the entire world, right? Jesus maintained a perfect attitude in every situation. He prayed about everything and worried about nothing. We too should seek God's guidance about every aspect of our lives and allow him to work out his perfect will. Jesus's attitude was never to become defensive or discouraged. And that really hit home because I'm defensive all the time. All the time. And definitely get discouraged. And I'm like, I have to be striving more towards peace because I really just feel like I was coming out of my skin yesterday. And he says here, each of you should look not only to your own interest, but also to the interest of others. And without question, obviously, that does not come naturally to us, right? We're supposed to, when we become preoccupied with our own things, it can cause conflicts and other problems with people we know. Instead, God wants us to have an attitude of serious, caring involvement in the concerns of others. And also it said, each time we try to control our circumstances, our future, and the people around us, we're only demonstrating that we want to be a God, but we must understand that as creatures, we will never be the creator. And, it's about having faith. It's about, and just relaxing. I mean, not trying to definitely not control everything. And also, I thought it said something in here about being comforted, comfortable. Okay. Yeah. We must always keep in mind that God's ultimate goal for his children is not our comfort, but the transformation of our minds into the attitude of godliness. I thought to myself last night, and I even said this to Bill, I said, I'm constantly striving, thinking I should be able to get up when I have a day off and not have to do anything, to be comfortable. Who said I have to be comfortable? Do you know what I mean? It's a struggle. It is definitely a struggle. So Becky checks in with me every couple of days, and she had emailed me last night to ask how I was doing, and she was also overwhelmed with things happening in her life. And I wrote her back, and I was completely honest, and I said, I'm struggling. I said, and here's why, blah, 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 blah. And I said, and then I think on one hand, I'm just way too hard on myself, the gratitude list and all of that kind of stuff. And I love her response. So I'm going to read you part of the email that she sent me back because I absolutely loved it. She said, I feel like we all go through much of the same. And she said, I understand you, and it's just the way life is. But here was my favorite part. We navigate it the best way we can to bring happiness to ourselves and others. Yeah, pretty much. I think I need to be cutting myself a break here. Yesterday also, but I don't want to be irritated. I want to have a good attitude. So it's something I need to strive towards because it is one of my biggest flaws. And obviously, we are never going to be perfect people because if we were, we wouldn't need God. We wouldn't need faith. And I need to remember that. Pray. Everything happens for our greater good. We have to believe that. Have to. And I was so grateful for her email because it let me just chill and not feel like I was literally going crazy. But yeah, work. That's what I was going to say. So last week, I found out that my boss was going to be off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for a medical procedure. Okay. So I tell the team that because when she has days off in a row, I tell our team because if they want to pick up work from other people or just take a break, they know that I'm not going to be emailing them asking if they're available for work. So even when we're off though, I check her email. I check our work portal for stuff to come in because stuff could still happen that I have to deal with, which is not a problem usually. I am now on a text message list with the firm that we work for so that when they email her with jobs, I can see it also and she doesn't have to tell me. I can just see it. Well, they know I'm on this list now. So yesterday at about 3:30, 4 o'clock my time, which is 3 o'clock her time, they text and say, are you available tomorrow? No, meaning today. Are you available tomorrow for a job? We really need the help. And I thought to myself, and then they said, you know, Danielle, can you message so-and-so to see if she's available? And so I text my boss and I say, so-and-so is asking if you can work tomorrow. I said, didn't you tell them you needed off? Didn't you tell them you weren't available for a medical procedure? My point was, shouldn't even have to be dealing with that because they should know that you're off for a medical procedure. She's not available. I feel like she didn't tell them. That's the impression I got. Thank God she responded. She didn't respond for like an hour or two. She wrote back and was like, no, I'm going to be in no position to work tomorrow, because I was like, the whole team is off. So if you took this job today, no one would be able to edit it live like we usually do. And then I would have to be working on Friday to do it by myself. And I was just so irritated by that. I'm trying to strive on or towards not being irritated. I don't know how to do that exactly. I told Bill last night, I said, you know, if I stopped trying to understand things, I would probably be a happier person. Like, I understand people's actions and why people do the things they do. But then I also remembered, it's not in my timing, it's in God's timing. Here's a good example. So, for Bill's birthday, I have saved the past couple of months. It's his 50th birthday, so I wanted to get him like a really good present. I have saved money for the past couple of months to get him a custom floor put in his boat. It is costing like $1,500 for this floor. So I want to say 2 months ago, a month ago, he went to the boat show and he saw this guy that's in our area, and the guy's like, I can do the floor for cheaper than this other company. Okay. Because the other company was going to charge like $4,000 or something. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of money, right? So we pulling teeth trying to get the guy here, but finally he came here to template it and all that. And then it was pulling teeth to get an invoice because he required 50% up front. And I'm the kind of person like, I want to get that stuff paid for while I have the money. So we pay half the invoice. So we actually paid more than half. I want to say I paid close to $1,000 and we still owe like $550, something like that. All right, what symbol now? Let's do the ABs because, oh, whoopsie. Sorry. I totally moved the tripod and now it's going to. Let me tell you, I don't know about you guys, those of you that have a YouTube channel. I spend 20 minutes in the beginning just trying to get the tripod straight. Because mine clamps onto the side of the desk and my diamond painting is always in a different position. So I'm always spending so much time trying to get it where it's perfectly in line. Okay. So this week has been warm here. And Bill said to me last week, he was like, so-and-so, I'm going to take the boat over there when it's warm, and he's going to put the floor in. And he also wants him to put his depth finder in, which would cost us another, I don't know what. Well, weekend came and gone. No call or text from the guy. Bill has texted him twice now with no response. I don't understand. You run a business. Why aren't you responding? Everyone looks at their phone. You're not going to tell me they don't. So I'm done asking Bill about it though, because it just irritates me. And then I thought to myself last night, I was like, there's a reason somehow that this guy is not contacting him back. Is the floor not meant to be done right now? Like, I start thinking it's not our timing. It's God's timing, but why? And I think that truly is part of my, I don't want to say problem per se, but I'm always trying to understand things. I want to know why. I don't understand why people just don't do what they say they're going to do. Why, like, attorneys just don't send exhibits at the end of the job like you're supposed to. I mean, if everyone did what they were supposed to, man, things would run a lot smoother, wouldn't they? Yeah, I literally just drive myself nuts trying to understand people instead of just going with the flow. So to say I was struggling yesterday is a huge understatement. Oh, one good thing though. So it came to me what to do with the Oraloa kit, the mermaid kit, the Hannah Lynn. The floss tube retreat that I go to in New Jersey in July, Arlene does a raffle. She takes donations and does a raffle and donates all the money to an animal shelter. And it hit me. I was like, I need to donate the diamond painting. And I emailed her. And so, yes, I'm going to take it. She's going to raffle it off. Someone will have a wonderful diamond painting. And there will be money given to the animal shelter. See how I'm doing that? Push it down and then twist my pen and it doesn't pull all of your stuff out of the pen. So yeah, I thought that was a really good way to get rid of it. And there's one of my subscribers who messages me all the time about Oraloa, and she was the one that actually told me about the Hannah Lynn ones. She messaged me just today and said, oh, there's a new Hannah Lynn, and that I love the image, but I said, I'm going to be honest, I'm not buying any more Oraloa kits. I said, I'm sticking with Diamond Art Club. I said, Oraloa, Diamond Art Club's diamonds, symbols are really crystal clear. To me, or at least the kit that I had, the Oraloa ones aren't. And I just like Diamond Art Club better. I just do. So, and she was like, oh, I'm going to look at some of my kits and I've never even opened them up. Whenever I get a kit, I always open it up. I always look at it. Well, I unbox it for you guys, right? But yeah, I also finished that book I was reading, Where They Lie. Oh my. So good. All right, let's do... So good. And I have to find another book to read. I took a little bit of a break, like a day or so, because I read those two books like back to back very quickly. But yeah, so that is what has gone on. So we got up early. We got there at the colonoscopy place at like 7:15. Got right in there at 7:30. Now here's a good one too. They took him right back. And now first of all, when we got in there was only like 2 people in the waiting room because you have to have somebody drive you home. Now, some people don't stay. Like if you leave, they'll call you when the person is in recovery. So then you have time to get back to the place. Because when they call you and they're in recovery for like another 25 minutes. But I wasn't doing anything. So I just waited there in the lobby. There's a big sign in the lobby. Actually, there's more than one sign. There's like 3 signs. please silence or put your cell phones on vibrate. And if you have to take a phone call, take it outside. Yeah. I thought to myself, the people in this lobby, because it filled up when I was there, just, is it that people are blatantly disrespectful? Do they not care that everyone can hear their conversation? And it wasn't even, first off, everyone's cell phone's going off. Everyone's phone's going off, and loudly. And second of all, people were having personal conversations, like sitting, there was like two people there, a husband and wife, and she's like, oh, so-and-so's having a baby. He's so cute. Look at this puppy. You know, stuff like that. And I mean loud. And I thought to myself, lady, you need to use your inside voice here. When Bill was sitting next to me for like the couple minutes, I whispered to him, I don't need to hear all your business. I was sitting there trying to read. And yeah, and it was just nuts, the noise in there. And I thought, again, something I don't understand. Am I not meant to understand it? Is that God trying to show me circumstances where I need to have a better attitude? I told Bill, if I could just let everything like roll right off my back, man, I would just be a much happier person. And then, so we leave the doctor, we come home. Now, Bill wants to go to Lowe's to get mulch because it's on sale. And we have to take his truck to the truck place and get a rental. He has a rental car now. Well, he can't drive. They told him not to drive today. And I said, well, okay, well, I guess I'm driving your truck. Oh, my. I felt like I was driving a tank. And I didn't like it. So we get to Lowe's. Now the mulch is outside, right? He's like, okay, well, I'm going to go in and pay. And when he comes out, he's like, pull up on this side. So I pull up and he's like, okay, well, can you back it up to me? I got so discouraged and frustrated because there was like this big boulder next to me and I couldn't judge. I can't judge in that truck. I can see. And so I yell out the window, I can see. And he must not have heard me. He just said, okay, keep coming back. And so I did it. But he was like, what did you say when you were in there? And I told him, I said, I get so flustered in situations like that, especially driving, because I'm afraid I'm going to hit something. I can't judge it. The truck is so wide. I mean, yeah, I was so glad when we got home. And we're home now for the rest of the day. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Tomorrow, I'm going to the grocery store because Sunday the stores are going to be closed. Sunday's Easter. And Bill's off work tomorrow. He's actually going to go with me. So that'll be a nice, pleasant treat, which I will appreciate. And that will be one thing on my gratitude list tomorrow. We're going to get up and go to breakfast and go to the store. So, yeah. And then Saturday, I think Bill is taking Charlize driving. I have a hair appointment she's slated, my appointment's at 1, and she's slated for it to go to 4:30. I don't know if it'll really take that long. Usually the appointments are quicker than what she says. I think she just allots that time to kind of cover herself, you know what I mean? So, I have that. And then Sunday's Easter. So Sunday, it will be a nice treat, let me tell you, to get up and not have to, we're going to do K because there's like a teeny tiny bit of K down there. It's going to be nice not to have to get up and go to the store. I just got to get up and go to my dad's house for dinner, which is not until the afternoon. But yeah, I mean, do any of you struggle like that? And you know what? So and I'm only saying this because she put a public post on Facebook. Vonna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher. I've known Vonna since the days of blogging, which has been, it's been at least almost 15 years now. Vonna is one of the most selfless and giving persons that I've ever met. And she posted on her Facebook page today that her family is struggling this month. First off, Vonna donates or volunteers tons of her time to her church. And one of the things that she does is she caters and hosts funeral luncheons, meaning she's making meals for like dozens of people, okay, from scratch. So she said she had to make this funeral luncheon for like 65 people, and her family couldn't help her. Like normally they're able to help sometimes, I think. And she said she was so just exhausted, overwhelmed. But the people were so grateful that she knew, you know what, I'm going to find her post. I saved it so I don't want to misquote her. I want to read it to you because it really hit home for what I was feeling yesterday. Okay. She says, March has not really been swell for us Pfeiffers. However, today it was driven home to me that people do care about me. I spend a significant amount of my life at my church. I was doing it for me, to grow my spirituality, to strengthen my walk with God. All the while, God has been working in the background. Today, she had the third funeral luncheon of the month, and her family couldn't help me. So she was used up emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And so the people at her church actually helped. She cooked the meal and they helped, but what they did most to help her was clean up at the end, which she says by the time she gets to the cleanup part, she's exhausted. She cooked from scratch, and it was 6 hours of shopping and prep. And then back at church this morning, well, this was a week ago that she posted it, but she was back at church at 6 a.m. to make sure everything would be done. So she said, we impressed the family. I never had so many thanks as we got today, and I've been doing funeral luncheons for 17 years. And it says, amidst all this work, God showed me that I have friends in my faith, family who love me and have my back. All the while, my self-centered focus on religious growth, I was really growing in community. Now, here's where it got me. I somehow always feel that people don't care for me. And today, my heart is full for all that my friends did to help put on a fabulous meal for the grieving family. And, you know, I completely relate to that because it is very easy to, you know, I work at home, to feel a little bit isolated, even though, you know, I do the channel. But when I really stop and think, and when she stops and thinks too, because her channel, she has done so many fabulous tutorials and finishing for people. And all the work she does at her church, I know they have to appreciate that. So, but you know, the wonderful gifts and messages and the friendships that I have developed. I mean, I have so many people in my corner that if I'm feeling frustrated, I just need to reach out. That's exactly what that has come down to. And one of my online friends even suggested, they were like, have you ever thought about talking to a therapist? And I said, you know, I have. I've just never flipped that switch or, you know, pushed the button on it. I've just always messaged people. The handful of online friends that I have, I've just always messaged them, been like, hey, I'm struggling. And it's nice to get a perspective of someone who is not in my body, in my mind, right? But yeah, Vonna, just to let you know, and I don't think she watches my videos, but Vonna is a very, in my opinion, one of my favorite people in this community, and she is definitely loved and revered, and she is so faith-based, does all kinds of things for her family. But it's not to say that she doesn't struggle like anybody else, obviously. So one thing going forward, I'm not going to put huge pressure on myself to do that gratitude list every day for you guys. If I have things when I go to do the video, because some days, perfectly, truth time here. Or, as one of the comedians I like to watch, he'll say secret time. Secret time. Sometimes I am barely finding the time to do the video in the morning before work. And I haven't even done the gratitude list, and I'm sitting down to hurry up and do it. I don't want to hurry up and do anything like that anymore. So there may be days that I don't even have a gratitude list. And like today, 2 things on it. Yeah. So, cutting ourselves a break, giving ourselves grace, trying to relax and let things play out how they need to play out, without trying to control and cajole and, circumvent and form things to the way that we think they need to be. And it's okay to not be comfortable all the time. Yeah. I was reading that post yesterday, and she got tons of comments. I don't know how many comments, but tons of people said about, that she's a blessing, and the work that she does truly is God's work. I mean, she truly is like I said, one of the most selfless people I've ever come across in this community. And Jill and I were almost going to meet her in person. She was going to be like at a meet and greet, and something happened and she couldn't go. But Jill and I were going to get a hotel room and stay overnight, because I was like, I have to meet her. If I ever have that chance, I will do it. I would love to be able to sit even for a couple minutes just to see her in person and talk to her. I love her so much. And she does fantastic finishing. Oh my goodness. Just amazing, amazing work, and stitching. And she's also working on, she is cross-stitching Jesus's face. It's beautiful. It's going to be amazing. And she also, and this is because I'm saying this because she put it on Facebook, she also had a colonoscopy recently. Like, everybody's getting those. But Bill's went so good. I'm so thankful. The prep wasn't as bad as before, and he really liked the people that he was with. He said it was the most pleasant experience that he thinks you could have possibly had. So when it comes time for me to get one, which is, by 50, you're supposed to get them. I'm going to be going to that person for sure. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to chat about. This is 42 minutes, so I've been blah, 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 blah. Yeah, had a bunch to say, right? Oh yeah, we are having pulled pork in the crock pot. Man, does it smell good. That McCormick's, are there any more K's? Yep, one right here. And there's a couple K's around there. That McCormick seasoning pack, it is so easy. I buy boneless pork. I actually bought seasoned boneless pork, and I rinsed it. 2 pounds. 1 pack of McCormick's slow pulled barbecue mix. And then you add in ketchup, water, brown sugar, and apple cider vinegar. That's it. Now, Bill likes to eat his on like a Kaiser roll with coleslaw. I put mine over steamed rice. I make rice in the rice cooker. That's how I like to eat mine. But it's so good, and it's so much of it that we can have it for 2 days. So, but one thing I did want to mention, and this was, I was looking at Facebook last night in the groups for diamond painting, and someone said, what do you do about the key? Like, if I would have the bottom of this still rolled up, I wouldn't be able to see the full key. What someone said, and it made perfect sense, and I think I'm going to start saving it. You know how they give you the big image and it has like the key next to it so you could label your containers? I'm going to start keeping that and like sticking that to a piece of cardstock. That way I have the key like right next to me, and I won't even have to look at the side. Although One thing I would recommend is making sure that key on the sticker matches the key on the canvas, because I don't know that it happens so much anymore, but I think there was a time where some of the kits, they were different. And so you could really mess your stuff up if you're not, you know, if it's not the same. You got to make sure it's the same. So that was a really good idea though. And some people have also taken a picture of the key on their phone, and then you have it. Again, really, really good idea. So I really don't have anything to do the rest of the afternoon except get this video up and fold laundry up. So I'm going to aim to get this diamond painted. I can't tell you how comfortable this pen is to hold. I will link it again down below. I got it on Etsy. From all of the work last week, the middle finger, I told you, the middle finger, I know I said this the other day. It was like tingly, and I know it's because like nerves, I irritated some nerve. It's fine now, but having this pen made it so when I use a regular pen, like when I use this one, I press down pretty hard. And so I'm pressing with this. Not that I won't use those pens again, but I said, you know what, to give my hand a break, I'm going to use this. And it's a natural way to hold something, right? I mean, I'm just naturally putting my fingers like that. So, and what's also nice too, is if you can see, it's very, like the pen's not too long where I'm having to, the distance is shorter, which makes it easier to diamond paint. I guess that's the best way to say it. So, but okay. I think I'm done chatting with you guys. Thank you so much for listening to me. And just thank you for letting me come on here and be honest, because I don't know any other way to be. I'm me. I struggle a lot, whole lot. And I am just thankful for you guys, my subscribers, the viewers, the commenters, just everything. So thank you so very much. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Again, thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.